Hey everybody, it's Dr. Quinn here. I am taking a look at week 4 schedule. You notice week 4 finishes module 2 and begins module 3. Okay, so you've got 3 dates staggered this week because you've got 2 assignments to finish module 2 and a couple to orient you to start module 3. Your final draft of the narrative that we've been working on is due Tuesday the 10th. If you go into the modules themselves, let's go back right into the modules. You'll see that the assignment is in there. You'll see that you've already looked at module 2's the overview for the draft essay, but of course my recommendation would be to look at this again. Remember the length of it, that you've already been quizzed on MLA basics, that hopefully you've reached out to tutoring. And then of course you submit it as a file upload in Word. Okay. So you'll notice at the bottom of this that there is a rubric. I would recommend you using the rubric as a checklist for your narrative essay. Format is a part of the grade, but 5 out of 80 points is just not a lot. Content is the vast majority of the grade. This is how well your main points are developed, how you stuck to one of the prompt questions, and how you've clearly discussed bias, stakes, change, and theme. Okay? I'm looking also for good organization. Did you organize this chronologically? Do you move from point to point? And do you have a strong balance between the experience and reflection of what that experience meant? Finally, you've got points for audience. It's not just about grammar mechanics. That's part of this, but it's about tone. Do you have the right tone for your audience? Are you using the right language and details to make the point stick? So definitely take a look at that. There's also something that I want you to review in the modules for week 2, module 2. And you'll notice that it's called Narrative Essay Recording and Responses. This is going to be an interesting assignment. In the draft feedback that I've been giving everyone, I've asked you often to read your work out loud so you can hear it. And it's in preparation for this narrative essay recording. You're going to read your essay and you're going to record it and post it. And the idea is that you are telling that story and you are giving us almost like instruction on how to hear the story. Okay? You're going to be creating this. You'll think about how your personal biases affect how you see the world. You'll practice the storytelling elements from the moth. You can do this as a screen capture. You can also do this as an MP4 or a WAV file. And you'll be posting it in a discussion. You'll also be responding to your classmates at that same time. Okay? When you respond to your classmates, talk about what you saw with stakes, change, and theme predominantly. Okay? And then, of course, using a salutation and a closing as part of that engagement with peers. This is worth a nice chunk of change. And so this is how we can often balance, a work in a writing class between some writing assignments and some non-writing assignments. And so that's how you finish module 2. This is due Wednesday. And then at the end of our week, what's due on Sunday, we're starting module 3. So there's a couple of parts to that. Module 3 is examining media bias. And so you'll take a look at the module overview. We'll take a look at the analysis essay overview later in the week, but I'll show you where it is. And of course, you'll do a knowledge self-check bias. These overview spaces are homework for you. You've got to take a look at the overview because embedded in the overview, you're going to see all of the assignments coming up over the next few weeks. And you'll see a link to our learning materials. Within our learning materials, you go to the module 3 and you'll see all of our homework that you'll be looking at over, let's go to module 3, that you'll be looking at over the next couple of weeks. You've practiced hypothesis before, but we'll be folding in journalistic genres, style and formatting for in-text citations and references, different audiences and purposes. It will shift between your narrative and this analysis document. So keep that in mind. The analysis essay overview is in here. We'll be building on our MLA style. We will be moving from first person, personal feelings writing to analysis writing. You'll be building a 900-word academic essay. You've got that 111 handbook for support. And later in the week, we'll be talking about, I'll do a video that helps you sort of unpack the 16 types of bias that we could see in a media article. So make sure to go through those assignments as homework for the week, although you're not writing the draft itself. What you'll have to do for the week for homework is look at the overview and the essay itself, do this knowledge self-check, and to do the social annotation that you've practiced doing before. And then in week 5, we will move on to brainstorming and so on and so forth. So this week again is finishing module 2 with a final draft of your narrative, building on the feedback you got from myself and your classmates, and doing a reading of that so you can hear what your narrative sounds like. And you can sort of reflect on whether reading it out loud would benefit your editorial and proofreading processes. If you have any questions for the week, reach out and let me know. I look forward to seeing your work.